Good evening and cheers. When I started off these vlogs, I did say we'd have some unboxing videos, but I've not bought many records that have come sealed and need unboxing. But I have, this week, picked up a sealed Factory Records box set. And the reason I picked this up this week, apart from the fact that I like a lot of the bands on it, is I just finished reading Paul Morley's biography of Factory Records founder Tony Wilson. The book is called From Manchester with Love. Very good book, very thick book. Came out last year. Very recommended. Not just a biography of a man who helped found a Manchester independent record label. It's pretty much a biography of the city of Manchester itself and British popular culture over the last 40 years. Really worth a read. But anyway, like I say, it prompted me to go online and find one of the last sealed copies, I think, of this 2008 compilation, Factory Records, Communication 78 to 92. Apparently when it came out 2008, not long after Tony Wilson sadly passed away from cancer of the kidneys, they made, I think, 10,000 of these worldwide. I mean, we're now talking 15 years down the line, 16 years down the line. But yeah, there was still a shop selling sealed copies, so I can actually do some unboxing. A bit after the fact, but hey ho. And the way to get shrink wrap off, how do you do it? Well, I use my keys. So, online. Sticker on the front of the shrink wrap there in green says the definitive, here comes the cat, the definitive 4 CD box set containing highlights and rarities from Manchester's unique and legendary independent label, 1978 to 1992. Right, I'll talk about some of the tracks in a moment. Let's just get the shrink wrap off. Oh, it's coming off neatly. Very good. Right, this has since been repressed. It was repressed 2 or 3 years ago as like some inevitably expensive, something like 8 LP vinyl box set, way out of my price range. Like I say, 4 CDs though, slightly more affordable. I think when it came out it's probably about 30 quid. This cost me 45. Here you go. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 CDs. Let's have a look. What do we have? Track list in there. I went to see Joy Division and New Order feature on this quite heavily, most famous of the acts that are on Factory. I went to see Stephen Morris, the drummer from Joy Division and New Order, in conversation at Rough Trade East in Brick Lane, London, last night. He was talking to another box set here. Hold on there. He was talking to a chap called Stephen Wilson from the band Porcupine Tree, who has curated this. This actually came out yesterday. A different 4 CD box set of 1980s independent and post-punk music. But yeah, so Stephen Wilson, who curated this from Porcupine Tree, and Stephen Morris from Joy Division New Order were in conversation at Rough Trade East. Every panel should have Stephen Morris from New Order speaking on it. He's an excellent public speaker. Maybe not confident, he sort of stutters and stammers and has an air of not being sure about what he's saying, but he's a very, very, very funny man. There's not many funny drummers in the world. Stephen Morris is one. Anyway, this came out yesterday. As an aside, well worth a pick up. But now I've got it open. Let's have a look what we got. We have a very chunky booklet. Pictures, text, lots of sleeve notes there. Lots of pictures. Full credits, pictures of every record that is on it. And a postcard with a photograph of a roll of Factory Records gaffer tape from the 1980s. Now, Factory Records, one of the things they did do apart from put out records, was they applied catalogue numbers to all sorts of ephemera, as you may know. nightclubs such as the Hacienda, their offices, their bar, Dry, events, lawsuits, films that never got made. The cat used to live in the Hacienda. Lots of things were given factory records catalogue numbers, and this roll of tape, which they used to seal up their records and used to send them out, also had one, and it's a photo of it. This way up, I guess. No, this way up. There you go. That way up. That makes sense, doesn't it? FAC 136. So yes, there you go. Bonus postcard. Anyway, why do I like factory records? Well, when I was at school, the first song I heard on the label was True Faith by New Order. Big hit in the UK, probably worldwide. Big hit in the UK. New Order's biggest hit up until that point. You may know it, you may remember the video. Lots of brightly coloured people slapping each other's faces. That's on it. And that made me think, oh, New Order, I like them. They're a band I'm going to like. And I bought, started buying their singles, bought the compilation album Substance, or Substance 1987 as we called it, because it had the date on the sleeve, which was a 12-track compilation of all their 12 inches up till that point. That was a big gateway into all this stuff. There used to be a record stall in Hastings in St Andrew's Market, a second-hand record stall, and me and my friends would go there and we would flick through the records, the 7s, the 12s, the LPs, and really have to, because there was no internet, because we had no reference material, we would literally go through records, and also in like reduced bins in like normal record shops like Our Price and stuff, and we would literally, pick up the album, turn the album round, see what label it was on. Is it on factory? No. Put it back. If it is, okay, maybe put it to one side and buy it. That's how we kind of learned what was on the label. We had no reference material. We had to actually look at every record in turn when we were in a boot sale or a record store or whatever. And that's how we discovered other artists such as A Certain Ratio, who are on here with Flight, amongst other things. Flight I mentioned in a previous vlog. One of the greatest records. 6 or 7 minutes of really pitch black, oceanic, sort of funk, but not very ethereal, produced by Martin Hannett. Incredible record. What else is on here? Electricity by Orchestral Manoeuvres in the Dark. Had the best of OMD about the time I had Substance by New Order. And again, without any reference, I had the best of OMD. I didn't realise that the first song on it, the first single by OMD, Electricity, early factory records. Took a long time to realise that. Who else is on here? Joy Division, of course. I mentioned them just before, the band who became New Order. Is Atmosphere on here by Joy Division? I'm not sure it is. But yeah, the great record I've mentioned in another blog, Atmosphere by Joy Division, which was reissued again around the same time as I had Best of OMD and Substance. Reissued to plug the first compilation of Joy Division tracks on Factory. First time I was exposed to their music, wonderful song. First time I was exposed to the very distinct voice of their late singer Ian Curtis. An astonishing record to be in the UK Top 40 at the time. When the UK Top 40 is full of Stock Aitken and Waterman productions, a lot of Kylie, Jason Donovan probably by that point, yeah. And also a lot of there was lots of house records in the UK Top 40. There was a lot of things like the Beatmasters. There was S Express and Cold Cut and all that stuff. And then in the middle of all that, you had Atmosphere by Joy Division. Astonishing standout track. Amongst all that, really weird. I think I was 14, 15. I was like, ooh, this is different. Who else is on here who I can briefly mention? Happy Mondays. We got into the Mondays around that time when Wrote for Luck came out the first time. Again, brilliant single. Better on the Bummed album version, the full length version of Wrote for Luck on the original Happy Mondays album, Bummed. Excellent track. Edited down for a single, which is where we first heard it. Great single, remixed, and the Mondays had a lot of hits, a lot of early UK, early 90s UK hits. Seen them loads. Great band. So yeah, another one. They were like, oh, they're on Factory Records as well. And other stuff, we would gradually come across things. New Order spin-off Electronic. Again, bunch of hits. I was like, oh, they're on Factory. Anyway, I'm rambling, but I'm very pleased. I did a bit of unboxing for you because I haven't done that for a while. We have 4 CDs of greatest hits. We have a booklet for me to read. Who do we have? Tony Wilson, who I mentioned just then, Martin Hunt, the producer who I mentioned, Alan Erasmus there, another factory founder, Peter Saville, the great designer. Oh, there's a lot to get stuck into. Well pleased I've got this. That's it. I'm going to crack on. I'm going to crack on with listening to that, and then I'm going to crack on with listening to Stephen Wilson Presents Progressive Sounds in UK Alternative Music 1979 to 1989, Intrigue, which is, again, two separated in time but not in spirit box sets. It's going to be fab. I hope you're all right. Sorry I'm rambling a bit, my voice has gone a bit. But yeah, I'll catch up with you sometime soon. And if I don't, then that's because you're not looking. Yeah, bye.